Two fittingly tough acts to follow, but I'll do my best. Thank you. I'm honored to be here and humbled to be part of such an esteemed class of inductees. Susanna, Charles, congratulations to you and your families on this well-deserved accomplishment and recognition. I'm deeply grateful to Larry and the Harvard Varsity Club for nominating me to be part of this wonderful group and for the support of my teammates, coaches, and family, some of whom traveled long distances to be with us today. Thank you. It means the world to me. This moment of celebration has been an opportunity to reflect on my time at Harvard and what Harvard fencing means to me. Fencing was very much the core of my college experience, and in many ways became the foundation for my life afterwards. When I arrived on campus, I was a somewhat shy and insecure kid and deeply intimidated by the aura of Harvard prestige. I had a deep suspicion that I wasn't worthy, that there must have been some mistake that resulted in my acceptance, and I didn't know how I could possibly stack up against my remarkable classmates from around the world. But the fencing team provided a crucial oasis and home to me. In a moment when my world was growing and expanding in a way that was often overwhelming, the familiar confines of the fencing room allowed me to focus and made the world feel manageable. Not just the structure of fencing itself with its rules of right-of-way and five-point bouts and the defined limits of the strip. It was the community of the team that provided the structure that I deeply needed at that phase of my life. I was extremely fortunate to come to Harvard as part of a freshman class of 8 highly accomplished young fencers who had competed at national and international events before. In many ways, I don't think any of us had necessarily chosen Harvard specifically for its fencing program at the time. Our rival school, Columbia, was the traditional choice for academically inclined young fencing talents. And if you can believe it, at the time, Harvard was where you went to pursue other pursuits, not competitive fencing, if you were lucky enough to get in. But something had drawn us all to Cambridge, and although we didn't know each other well before, we were now all in the same boat together, and we quickly became inseparable. Each evening after practice at the MAC, we would all go to dinner together at the Lowell Dining Hall. An organic daily rhythm developed. Not just the freshmen, but practically the full team would go. Our group became so big that we would claim the large elevated table that sat above the rest of the hall. In retrospect, those dinners were perhaps the single most important element of my Harvard experience. They allowed me to engage with my classmates as people and as teammates. They weren't distant, untouchable geniuses, but real and complex individuals, still accomplished and wonderful. Those were the moments when I was able to come out of my shell, to take off the proverbial mask and really be myself. Moreover, I can see now that those dinners were the key element of the magic that is Harvard fencing. As if by subtle sleight of hand, the team culture of those dinners helped transform a fundamentally individual sport into something so much more. The personal bonds we formed transmuted our personal ambitions into something much more powerful. The care we had for each other allowed us to share in our teammates' victories and defeats and fueled us to do more than we were capable of on our own. We started the first strength and conditioning program for the team, adding extra and entirely optional practice sessions. We started pre-match group cheer, beating on a trash can, which is now evolved into an actual drum that the team brings to competitions. And before the NCAA championships, we even all dyed our hair red to show our commitment to the team. This alchemy is really what Harvard fencing means to me. And I see it as a through line through the rest of my life. HFT showed me the thrill of working together for a common purpose, the satisfaction of striving towards ambitious goals, and the comforting support of teammates always having your back. Many of the most meaningful experiences of my life share this and were made possible by the confidence I developed as part of the team, working on group projects in school, leading a team in my career, even raising a family with my wonderful wife. As I look at everything Harvard fencing has achieved since those years, there is so much to be proud of. For the first time since our team in 2006, this year Harvard won the NCAA championship. Under the inspired leadership of Daria Schneider, the first women coach to lead a team to the national championship, as Larry mentioned. Harvard also sent a record number of fencers to the Olympics this past summer, including 4 members of the men's saber team, the event I competed in. Harvard fencer Lawrence Scruggs brought home both gold and silver Olympic medals, truly historic events for both Harvard and American fencing. And I feel that our class was part of that success in some small way. There's so much that the team has accomplished and achieved. But what makes me most proud of all was to hear from current Harvard fencers that that tradition of team dinners continues to this day. High-achieving young fencers are now choosing to go to Harvard specifically because of that team culture. And it warms my heart to see that the magic of Harvard fencing continues. Thank you.